Hi guys, Captain Glenwell here and welcome to another video. Today I'd like to talk about some bizarre deaths in Victorian times. And with bizarre deaths I really mean the weird stuff. Starting off with the Paris green suicide. Now, Paris green was a particular color used in the 1800s to, make green. A very vivid green color, but also very poisonous. And as one Brooklyn girl proved in 1882 by using it to end her life. Louisa, aged just 18, frequently expressed a wish to die. According to her mother's later testimony, one February morning, while walking with her sister to the Brooklyn Public Library, Louisa slipped into a hardware shop and bought some of the popular paint. The next day, Louisa was playing a waltz on the piano when she fell suddenly ill. Her last words were chillingly calm, "Mama, I may as well tell you, I have taken Paris green. I have done what I said I would do." The second story is called The Champagne. In 1903, the Daily Tribune tells a story of Voronin, a Russian heiress attending a ball in Vienna, Austria. While Voronin danced in the theater pit below, a partygoer in one of the theater boxes above made a terrible error. He bumped a champagne bottle off the box's ledge and sent it plummeting to the crowd below. The glass bottle fell 60 feet, striking the pretty heiress as she whirled about the dance floor. According to the article, Voronin died instantly. Her life ended by a rogue champagne bottle. The third story is called Staring Down the Barrel of a Gun. In 1881, Widnes, England, played host to an unfortunate string of events. One October night, a man called Burchell assigned his servant Haig a rather simple task. There was a 4-chamber revolver in Burchell's home, and Burchell asked Haig to retrieve it. The pistol was to be a gift to a policeman. Haig immediately set off to fetch the gun, found it on a table, lifted it to his face for close inspection, and promptly shot himself through the mouth. While a neighbor rushed to the scene with the police, a servant picked up the gun with the intention of demonstrating what had happened during Haig's self-shooting. Then, in an absurd case of irony, the servant managed to duplicate Haig's fate, and according to the Sunderland Daily Echo and Shipping Gazette, the firearm went off and shot her through the mouth. Both are dead. The fourth story is called Killed by a Mouse. In England, 1875, a mouse was running around on a work table in a South London factory. And into the general commotion which followed, a gallant young man stepped forward and seized the rodent. And for a second or few, he was the hero of the day. But the mouse slipped out of his grasp, ran up his sleeve and squirreled out again at the open neck of his shirt. Now, the man, very surprised, opened his mouth. The mouse ran in, and the man swallowed the mouse. Now, a mouse can actually survive a thing like that, and that was proven there. The mouse began to tear and bite inside the man's throat and chest, and the result was that the unfortunate little fellow died after a little time in horrible agony. Story 5. Killed by a Coffin. Henry Taylor, one of the coffin bearers at a funeral, caught his foot on a stone and stumbled, and as he fell to the ground, the other bearers let go of the coffin, which fell on poor prone Henry. The greatest confusion was created amongst the mourners who witnessed the accident. As you can imagine, poor Henry didn't survive the fall, and the widow of the person about to be buried nearly went into hysterics. Story 6. Death by Gardening. One peaceful morning in May 1896, an unnamed French woman tended to her flower garden. While walking back into her house, she tripped and stumbled to the ground, with a pair of garden scissors still in her hand. So she stumbled and fell, and the scissors in her hand went through her neck, severing the jugular vein. The wound was allegedly so severe that the poor woman died not 3 minutes later from the abrupt blood loss. 7. The Deadly Sneeze. On a Wednesday night in 1892, Martha Roundtree was at work at a restaurant. She just finished cleaning the floors when she was struck by a terrible spell of sneezing. In fact, she sneezed so hard that her intestinal hernia ruptured, bursting a hole in her stomach. Martha was whisked away to the hospital for surgery, where doctors did what they could. But by late Saturday afternoon of the same week, Martha was dead, as the operation proved faulty. Story 8. Death by Laughing. In 1893, a Laurel, Indiana farmer by the name of Wesley Parson was joking around with friends when he couldn't stop himself from fits of uncontrollable laughter. Mr. Parson's laughing didn't stop, and for an entire hour, which then caused him to hiccup uncontrollably, and this made him so exhausted he just keeled over. Story 9. Death by Cat Clawing. Back in 1870, a wealthy and eccentric Iranian woman was breeding and buying as many cats as she could handle. Unfortunately, a fire broke out in her home, causing the woman's beloved cats to become trapped behind the door. When her maids opened the door to set them free, the cats were so frightened by the fire that they flew into the young maids, tearing, scratching and biting at them, causing the women to die premature deaths. And finally, Story 10. Death by Drunken Bear. In 1891 Russia, there was once a bear that had a taste for vodka. One day the bear busted into a tavern where it snatched a keg of its favorite drink. The inn's owner attempted to take back the keg from the bear, which wasn't that smart. It infuriated the bear to the point that it hugged the innkeeper to death, as well as his 2 sons and daughter. The bear also met its demise the day when it was shot by the villagers. Now, you might find all these deaths bizarre or scary or whatever, but I just found them pretty interesting. And I hope you did too. So thank you all for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.